one of the most painful things a man can experience. And I'll explain why it's so painful for a man. Now, I'm not saying heartbreak is easier for women, but for a man, heartbreak is a man's biggest downfall, right? Heartbreak. I'm going to tell you why. When a man falls in love, 9 times out of 10, that man hasn't been living. The moment he falls in love, he's been alive. So when the man loses his loved one, his beloved, everything changes. Because he finally lived, but he associated his identity, the self, who he is as a person, with his love, with his heart, right? So who his identity is, he associated it with his love. So when he lost his beloved, his whole reality, who he was, got destroyed. Now, when you suffer heartbreak, you need to understand who that girl was is not every other girl. What you found in her, you're probably not going to find it again. The empire of jokes and the great conversation and everything you built up with her, and the whole life that you pictured with her, and the whole life that you saw with her, it's dead. It's gone. So a man truly dies when his first heartbreak touches his tongue. That's when a man truly dies, when he gets a taste of heartbreak. But the man truly lives when he gets over that heartbreak, and he doesn't let his heartbreak treat women like shit. He actually becomes a better man out of that heartbreak. Because, look, you lost all the jokes, all the inside jokes, all the times she looked at you and smiled. Everything that was important to you is gone. Now, this makes you dig deep, and this makes you truly find God. Heartbreak is probably the most beneficial thing for a man, because it shows you how much can you love, how much are you comfortable with giving, and how much after the heartbreak are you willing to receive. Because look, I've been heartbroken before. The worst I've ever been. I would say around 24 to 25. I suffered. This was the first time I actually fell in love ever. But this person was not right for me. So I got over this person in time. I'm over it now. And I found someone. Okay? And it's crazy to say that I found someone, because I never thought that there would ever be another girl that could bring that side out of me again, but in a more controlled manner. Now I know how to portion control, because look, at first I was like this, right? This was the cup. Okay. This was the cup of water. This was the jug. I was, sorry, I'm a really bad drawer, okay? This was the jug. I was filling it up. Like, I was pouring my love. But remember, this girl that I was in love with never loved me back. And I knew she didn't love me back. This was all my fault, okay? Nothing was her fault. I just kept pouring, and I overflowed my love into someone who I knew did not love me back. But I had delusion, and I had false hope that she would love me and she could love me. And I thought that she was something more than what my mind made her out to be. At the end of the day, it was all my fault because I knew what it was. I knew who she was, and I knew that, not that she was a bad person, but I knew where her heart was. It wasn't for me, and I knew it. But I was caught up in what I wanted it to be, that I couldn't accept the truth, which prolonged my healing. So I had no idea what portion control was. And then I met a girl recently, and I couldn't portion control at all. I felt I was dead. I was empty. And then something happened where my past almost ruined it. The girl I was in love with reached out, and it wasn't in a good way. I was with the girl that I enjoyed, that I'm talking to now, and I looked at the text and I was like, oh my God, no matter where I go, my past is going to haunt me. And I'll never be able to grow, and I'll never be able to love like how I used to. I used to love so freely, so careless free. I didn't even know that I could be like that. I always knew I was loving because Christ gave me that love, but I never knew how rooted I was in Christ's love until that. So I lost it. And then I found a new girl, and I was with her, and I got a text from the girl I used to love. And it just reminded me that no matter where I go, I'll always have this fear. You can never get over this. You'll never be able to open up again. And I let it ruin my night. And I ran. I left that girl. And she called me, and I told her the truth, and I was projecting all my emotions. I was acting like a little bitch, bro. I was being a pussy. I was being a fucking cuck. And then I told her, I texted her in the morning. She wanted nothing to do with me. Because she said, this girl still has power over you. But she didn't understand that, no, she didn't have power over me. I have no love for her. I was scared to open up, and I was scared to be me in front of you. I was scared to love you. I don't want to say love because this girl's fairly new, very new. So love, I won't jump the gun, but I was scared to open my heart up again. And when I saw her name, the one I used to love, it brought everything back. And I was like, fuck, will I be able to open up again? And I panicked and I left. And I told the girl, she called me. She was like, why did you leave? And I told her why. She wanted nothing to do with me. Blocked me. But she unblocked me. And I texted her in the morning. I said, let me make things right. And she said, okay. And I laid it all out. And I was honest with her. And now we're on the right track. So that story just to show you, no matter how advanced you are, no matter how deep-rooted you are in Christ, life will hit you, and it will hit you hard, but it works in your favor because that made me open up to the girl. And she saw me for who I was that night. She saw me in my most anxious state, my ugliest state, and she still chose me. And it showed me the girl in my past, that she only brings me chaos and drama. That's all it ever was chaos and drama. It was never real. All the poems I wrote about her, all the love was within me. It was never about her. It showed me what I really am, who I could be. It was never about the girl. And now this new girl, if everything works good, inshallah, right? If it goes to shit, it goes to shit. It's whatever. But it taught me that I could let go and trust God. It taught me, Brandon, you could trust me. You're gonna get hurt, but just grab my hand. This world's gonna fucking knock you down, but I already did the hard work. I already died. Just reach up and grab my hand and just follow me. Even if there's chaos outside the world, just look forward and keep moving, and don't let your past dictate your future. Separate yourself from your past. Let's get into some Roblox confessions.